Welcome back to Mr. Orth's Flip Classroom for Grammar, looking at semicolons and colons. Check the lessons below to make sure you're doing the correct lesson for whichever grade you are in. First, a semicolon. That's with a period over the top of a comma. We use semicolons between independent clauses of a compound sentence, whether or not they are conjunctive adverbs. So we have independent clause, semicolon. Conjunctive adverb is the examples like however, followed by a comma because we can take it out. And then independent clause, period, question mark, exclamation point, end mark may change depending on what kind of sentence you have there. But the key is that it's independent clause. They're related, otherwise you wouldn't have put them together in the first place. We also use semicolons to clarify complex series when you already have commas. When you have a list of city, state, city, state, city, state, we wouldn't have a city, comma, state, semicolon, city, comma, state, semicolon. Otherwise, it looks like they're all the items of the same level or importance, as opposed to two different kinds of information. Colons, which look like two periods stacked vertically. These are placed between independent clauses of a compound sentence when the second sentence paraphrases the first. So think of it like it's an equal sign that just got shortened up. In that case, we put two independent clauses back to back. We also use colons to introduce a complex series, meaning a series that has a lot of commas or might even have semicolons in it. One of the rare uses we have is that we use a colon before a formal or long quotation. And according to most style guides, this is the quotation that's longer than 39 words. It has its own rules too as far as quotation marks. Quite simply, usually you don't use quotation marks around those and you make it a block paragraph. Like I said, it's not a very common occurrence. And don't forget, we also use colons for times, greetings, and formal letters, and things like that. One important note, with the exception of colons for greetings and digital time, a complete independent clause must precede any colon or semicolon, meaning you have to have a complete independent clause, independent sentence, subject, verb, whatever else you need, and you could put a period there, but instead you want to keep going with a list or a paraphrasing or a clarification. That's why I use a colon or semicolon, but only after that. You do not do a list of 3 names and then use a semicolon and then continue on with the sentence. It doesn't work. Also, since these sentences often use linking verbs and need to link to a predicate adjective or predicate nominative, the colon or semicolon cannot immediately follow the verb. So you don't put the verb right after, the verb right before the colon or semicolon. You can't say the nominees are colon. It doesn't work. Suggestion to combat the second problem, add the words the following after your verb. The nominees are the following. My suggestions are the following. What you should bring is the following in that example. Incorrect, the nominees are. Correct, the nominees are the following. And then you can have your list thereafter. First example, we walked to the mall, therefore we didn't have a ride home. So we're looking for a word we possibly use a colon or semicolon. Well, we know we have the independent clause first. We walked to the mall. That's the first independent clause. Semicolon there. Then we have therefore we didn't have a ride home. Are there any transitional words? Yes, therefore. Therefore we have a comma after the word therefore. Second example. They transferred the packages from 3 places: Paris, France, Munich, Germany, and Belfast, Ireland. So first we're going to go back and say, okay, what other punctuations we need to have? Well, we have an independent clause here at places, so we can put a colon there because it looks like we have a list. We have Paris, France. Well, we know we need a comma between Paris and France. Munich and Germany, Belfast and Ireland. We're going to need to have a semicolon after France and a semicolon after Germany, because if we don't, it looks like Paris, France, Munich, Germany, and Belfast are all cities in Ireland. Alright, this may have gone a little quick for you, but take your time, ask a lot of questions, and you'll do well. Just understand that if you aren't clear on this, you have to try things, have a reason for things, and ask for explanations to see if those reasons are correct and they match up, or if they're not, you need to make changes. Good hunting.